Hello, and welcome to You First. That's right. It's all about you, and you. I'm Shawanna Kennedy, and you know at You First, it's all about self-care, your mental well-being, personal development, and empowerment. That's because we empower you to make yourself a priority in your life where it becomes a lifestyle and not a temporary fix. I am super excited, and I have to tell you, just in case you don't know me, this is not just something fun and fuzzy and warm. It comes from, of course, my own life, my own journey of traveling down that road, that discovery road of self-care. Yes, not too long ago, many years ago, I suffered while being at work, while working numerous hours. Yes, I am a mother, I am a wife, and all of the things. And I was not listening to my own body, which led me to be face up in a hospital where it no longer became about my family. It no longer even became about my children. It had to become about me. That's when I began to carry the torch even more so to advocate, be a self-care, a self-first advocate for you, making yourself a priority, because I had to do it for myself. And I have the conversation with so many number of women and men all over the globe, and where we just actually forget about the main thing, which is us and our health, our self-care. And it's, of course, far beyond manicures and pedicures, as you know, and it goes a little bit deeper in things that we just need to pay more attention to that has nothing to do with the pandemic, but all about a pandemic with your life and what that looks like, because we want to be better. I'm excited because today I have someone in the wings who is what this young lady, she is a 5-time award-winning book promoter. That's right, she's a book promoter. So if no one else understands, and where we can have this heart-to-heart conversation about sitting behind a desk and the neglect when it comes to writing and being an author, and the conversations that you get to have with authors and writers all over the globe. I'm excited. This young lady, she has more than 20 years of an online magazine. She has been doing the doggone thing. Did you hear that? For a couple of decades. So I don't want to waste any time. Let's bring up and have this amazing self-care, self-first conversation on You First. So welcome to the platform, my beautiful guest today, Miss LaShaunda Hoffman. That's right. What's up?
Hello. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Excited. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of You First, because if don't nobody know, you know. So just say hey to the people. I already told them, look, you're a 5-time award-winning book promoter. What is that about? Just say hello for us.
Well, hello. My name is LaShaunda, and I have been in the book business 20 plus years. I love books. I love introducing readers. That's my goal, is to reach as many readers as I can with books. I would say that I'm learning to take better care of myself. I didn't end up in the hospital, but I've learned from being a caregiver and then being a writer. My kids gave me a Fitbit, so I'll start with that. My kids gave me a Fitbit probably about 4 years ago, before COVID. And the Fitbit told me that I wasn't doing nothing. Oh my God! I put up my arm, and it would say, and it tells you what you do for the day, how many steps you do and stuff. And it said, you're basically, I was at 0 steps. I wasn't doing anything. I would go to the bathroom. That's the most steps I was getting, even at work. That's all I was doing was that, I wasn't even getting 500 steps in. And I realized I needed to change that up. I got to change that.
It makes sense because of the people that you get to look. They take your courses, they're part of your classes and all of that. Because you deal with authors, and most authors, of course, in most cases, they're writing, they're sitting down. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it in case we have some authors or some inspiring authors, or even someone that just even work at their desk. This is a real conversation that needs to be had. And with you having the opportunity to talk to so many, when we think about righting the wrong, right? No pun intended, but actually it is, right? Righting the wrong of self-care. When you think about the authors and writing, what do you see one of the biggest issues is?
One of the biggest issues with authors I've noticed over the years is that we don't take care of ourselves. We are stuck to that seat, and we're writing. We don't take breaks. We don't have lunch. We don't eat right. And a lot of authors are overweight. A lot of us are overweight because we're just so busy doing everything else. We don't take time to exercise. I had a writer that came on and talked to me on my podcast, and she said her arms got locked like this from
Oh, wow.
typing. They were locked. And I'm like, how many hours were you typing? And she's like, she didn't want to say how many hours, but they literally had to take her to the hospital and unlock her, and she's
Wait,
just,
no, hold on. She had to go to the hospital?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, behind that.
Wow.
And so that really hit me because I was like, I I know sometimes my hands hurt, and I know a lot of authors deal with carpal tunnel because we're typing all the time. We're typing so much, and because I'm a assistant at my job, I knew that carpal tunnel was one of the parts that you do as working and doing that every day, typing every day. And so I always was trying to be mindful of moving my hands around, doing little exercises and stuff like that. And so what I'm learning is that most of us don't exercise. When you ask people, especially authors, do they exercise? They're looking at you like you're crazy. When do I have that time to exercise? I got to get these books out here. I got to get these books out. But what I've learned is that even if you're doing 15 minutes, get something that's gonna keep you accountable. And that Fitbit was my wake up call when I put it on and realized that they say you're supposed to do 10,000 steps a day. That's a lot of steps. That's a lot.
Now, because of this, because of that, I mean, now that's a lot. I can only
Mhm.
imagine what some have shared with you. Do you have those conversations amongst your community? Because I know you have a big community of readers and followers with some of the promotions and the things that you do. Is this one of the things that you bring as a part of your community?
Well, this is something that I said that I'm going to do for 2024 because me and you were talking about it, but I've talked to other authors, and when I talk to them, sometimes people say they haven't even, girl, I didn't even eat today. And I'm like, what? How are you missing 3 meals? At least one meal, something. They're missing the meals. They're not getting up when I talk to authors, sometimes they say they write for 8 hours straight. So that means you're not getting up. You're probably not going to the bathroom either,
Then
and so
a lot of them, they would then have to watch dehydration.
yes, that's why I was supposed to say I have a few friends that are dealing with back issues
Yeah.
because they've been sitting forever. You go with back issues, and before you realize it, you've damaged stuff because you've been sitting there that long. Most of the time they say if you sit at a desk every day, you need to get up at least every 30 minutes, move around, do something. And so
Yeah.
I start setting on my Fitbit, I start setting alarms.
I set my
Yeah, I
alarm.
set alarms to make me, and it'll say, "Hey, let's go get some steps in today." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, let me get up and go." I start using my break times. I get 2 breaks in at work, and I use that to go walking. So I get my steps in. I'm not at 10,000, but I get up to 8,000. That's what I do every day is 8,000 steps.
That
I want to get up to 10,000, but I need a little bit more. But I walk twice. I do 1 mile. It's 1 mile every day. So it's 2 miles a day I do at work, and just to get myself out of there. And then I found that when I miss my walking, I miss it because I'm like, it gives you that energy that you need to get ready to I do it in the morning. So I do all my work, and then in the afternoon, I'm ready for a little bit more to get out of, or just to release some stress. Maybe I've had a bad day. I go take that walk, and it releases some of that tension, release the stress. Nobody thinks that writing is stressful, but writing is very stressful, especially when you get to, if you're doing deadlines, you got a book that needs to be released, you're trying to get this stuff together, you got to deal with your editor, you got to deal with your publishers, and then you still dealing with readers because they want to talk to you, and don't even talk about social media, getting on there doing all this stuff. And I hear all the time from my people that I work with that I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. So I know that if they don't have time for marketing their book, they don't have time for themselves.
But I love what part of even your mission is. Part of that mission is what promoting people. What is your mission? Your mission is, I don't want to misinterpret what your mission is: introducing, promoting writers by introducing them to readers. And by introducing them to more readers, I love what you're going to prepare for this coming season and incorporating more of that to get up out of your seat type of thing, to get
Hmm.
up out of your
Hmm.
seat as a writer. So that's another way that, like I said, writing the wrong about incorporating more of that. And because you do so much book promotion, I have to ask you, because we're talking about self-care, we're talking about cozy, we're talking about being cozy, we're talking about being warm and fuzzy. I want to personally know, I want to know, and I think they may want to know, out of all of the books that you get the opportunity to read, out of all of the things you get to view, what is one of the things when you think about all of these amazing authors, what makes you cry? What touches that soft that allow you to do some introspective work? What is some of the writing that you've come across?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a
No,
hard one because I read so much and then I love so many of my authors, and I am a romance woman, so I love romance. So I anything that's romance, and you got some good heart stuff. My favorite author is Beverly Jenkins, and sometimes she does make me cry. Her books
okay.
make me cry.
What about it though? Is it, what about the
It's just
story?
it's the way she writes it. It's you can really relate to the characters. I think that when you're writing a story that makes someone's cry, usually because of the characters. The characters, you feel for those characters, you get the empathy for those characters, you feel like you're there with them. And then when you close the book, you're really not ready to close the book because you're not ready to get rid of the, leave that community of things. And so for me as a writer, that's what I want. I want to bring when people read my stories, I want them to feel like they're real people. These are family. These are some family members or somebody that touches them, that they got to get up and finish the book. I want them to finish the
Yeah.
book. And
So
so,
what happened? Look, without telling us who that author is, what happened in the book that make you cry? Look, we're going, and what happened?
oh man, maybe
Yeah, what makes
the
you
last book
cry?
that I read that made me cry was not expected. Somebody died in the book, and I was not expecting. They were having a fight, and I wasn't expecting that at all. And I was like, "Oh my god, they killed him off!" you know, and so that kind of hit me that way because I was like, I was not expecting. So I won't say what book it was because
Okay, no, 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 don't
I
tell us.
won't spoil nothing.
Don't do
But
the whole
that
story.
hit me like that, and I love that the person was able to. Sometimes when you read a book, you're not expecting to lose a character, so when they do, sometimes that takes you over the edge and brings you to tears. So
Okay, thinking about writing the wrong. Where were you in a book, in a story? Because I know you've read hundreds of books, hundreds, and where there was some type of twist, some type of suspense, where it really threw you for a loop, where you said, "Wow!" Like it was totally unexpected. Besides the
I just, as a matter of fact, I'm reading book two of this one book, and that's what happened. The end was like we like, oh, they closed the story, but then they had one last scene, and you was like, she did not do that. No, she did not do that. I can't even tell you because that'll spoil the whole story. But I was like, oh my god, when is the second book coming out so we can see what happened? So
I love the
yeah.
world.
Yeah,
When
I
you
love
when
that. I love cliffhangers. Some people hate cliffhangers, but I'm like that. I like book series, so I love a book to tell me at the end, like, oh my God, they did not do that. And then you like,
Well, that's
oh
the
my
beauty.
God.
That's the beauty of the pen, right?
Mm-hmm,
You can
mm-hmm.
you can write, haha, right the wrong, and that is why in your community, in the things that I want to shout from the rooftops to all writers, everyone, that those that sit behind your desk, you have got to move your feet, get up out of your seat, and get to moving. Because I believe, I've been told actually from a doctor, for every hour that we sit down, that means
Mm-hmm.
and get up for 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
Every
And that's good.
sit down, we then should get up and do some form of walking around, whether it's in your house, some form for 20 minutes for every hour that you sit down. And I know
Wow.
I've had medical issues because I burned midnight oil. I burned enough so much so, like I said, it had me in the hospital. It did. It had me in the hospital, and it was because of me sitting too long. And
Mhm.
see, I'm fortunate. I'm gonna just tell you guys, it's not about me not having water because your girl over here, I will have my water lined up. I will have all the drinks and everything. Matter of fact, I'm even blessed that my husband, because he wants to at least make sure I don't fall out of the chair, he will then, if I'm in prison, will slide me some food. He will slide me food. I'm not sitting at my desk not eating. I'm not sitting here where I would be, munching on a bunch of junk. No, I mean I'm eating. I'm
Well,
eating good.
you also need to rest. And that's one thing that we don't do. If
Talk
we are
about it.
business owners, I'm a
The rest.
business owner, I'm a entrepreneur, the entrepreneur who does stuff by herself. It's just me. So I'm doing everything. I'm wearing all the hats. And I
Yeah,
realized that I had to learn how to rest. I didn't know how to rest. I hadn't taken naps in years. Now, look, I take me a good nap. A nap makes the best thing in the world. And that was what I'm thinking. I'm saying, get some exercise, get a nap in there. Take you a personal day. I take a personal day every
yeah,
month because I
good.
need to go get my massage, get me a massage, get my massage on. I need to just sit there and do nothing. Um, because that helps you. And I don't know if we lost
No,
Shawanna. You still
I,
there? Okay.
I
I
was
was like, did we lose Shawanna? I'll keep talking.
all is well. I was spotlighting you because remember, this
Oh,
is
okay. Okay.
people at your desk, whether you're an author, whether you're a writer, if you're just even actually at your desk right now watching us, right? We want you to know that we care about you and letting you hear from us because it's all about you making yourself a priority. And part of that is movement. Movement is life. Even while you're at the desk,
Mm-hmm.
I used to, look in another life, I would even sit at my desk and do like I would do like some I would actually exercise at my desk. I would do some
Mm-hmm.
side twists and I would actually do some knee raises at my desk.
Mm-hmm.
So when I would set an alarm and then I would do some knee raises. Like currently, what I have under my desk is one of those vibration plates, not the little one that the feet do this. I have an actual
Mm-hmm.
vibration plate, and that way I can turn it on for like 5 minutes, and the vibration plate can
Oh,
vibrate
okay.
under my desk. So it's a lot of different things that we can do that we should be doing besides getting up when our alarms. If set an alarm. If you need to set your alarm, if you don't have a smartwatch or some type of Fitbit, set an alarm for every hour so that you stand up. Even if you just need to stand up at your desk and stretch your legs and bend and touch your toes and do some form of that because we want you here much longer. Now I know because I'm going to let LaShaunda get ready to talk to the authors because she talks to a bunch of them. She talks to them. So I need you to get your heart and your mind right so that you can speak to your folks, right? To talk to we are righting the wrong of authors and what their self-care neglect. So it's over to you.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna say that you are important. You are very important, and you can't finish those books if you are in the hospital. So you want to take care of yourself. You want to make sure that you are a priority at all times. Put it on your calendar. If one of my favorite people says, Shay Cannon says, if it ain't on the calendar, it's not getting done. So put it on your calendar. Have a me day. Do it once a month just to get in there, and then maybe you can do it every 2 weeks. Put a me day where you go and get you a massage. Because if you're sitting at your desk all the time, your back is not handling it. So go get your back done. Go get your chiropractor done once a month. Take time to rest. We miss that so much because we're so busy trying to get these books out there. And you're trying to do those rapid release books, you're putting a book out every month. I know some people that put out a book every month. I'm like, how? When do you sleep? When are you sleeping? Oh, I'll sleep later. You don't got time to sleep later. You want to be making sure you get your 8 hours of sleep. I know some people say that's too much. 8 hours is nothing. It's nothing. It goes by really fast. But you want to get your rest, because when you get your rest and all those great ideas come to you. When you're stressed out, when you're crazy, your mind is everywhere. No characters is talking to you. Oh my goodness, I found that out during COVID. I was so stressed out during COVID. I was working from home for the first time in my life, and I did not get it at all. And I could not sleep. I couldn't rest. And so I kept trying to figure out, how can I calm my mind down? My mind was not calm. So I started listening to meditation music, easing my mind. And I would count to ease my mind, because I just couldn't shut it down. I couldn't shut my mind down. And I realized that I was on 10 all the time. I had to bring it back down to 2. And so I realized that, 1, I needed to rest. And 2, I needed to find something that gave me a peace so I could rest. And so that's how I got into K-dramas, and I'm addicted to them. But K-dramas is what I do to calm myself. When I've had a crazy week, I can go to a K-drama, watch a lovely romance, and calm myself, get refreshed so that I'm ready to write when it's time for me to write again. But you want to make sure you're drinking some water, as Shawanna was saying. Get your water in, stay hydrated. A lot of people don't drink water. They're drinking sodas. They're drinking everything else but water. But you need your water. Drink your water. Do some kind of physical activity. Get something fun to do. Get you a partner. If you got a partner that goes walking with you, good. If not, I listen to my books on tapes, audios. And so that's what I do. I'll go put on one chapter and I'll walk that chapter until I'm finished with it, and I come back in. Keep you some routines. Don't keep doing 8 hours of sitting at that chair and wondering why your back hurting, why your feet hurting, why your arms hurt. Don't lock yourself up because you're trying to get these books out there. Yes, the books are important, and yes, they probably are paying some bills, but we need you. We need you so you can finish them unless you're there.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. And now I have to ask, if not you, maybe a family member, what has been a big health care scare, like a self-care scare for you? Have you ever had one?
Um, well, my sister passed. She had a massive heart attack. And that made me realize that we're not promised forever. We're not promised forever. She was 5 years older than me. But she didn't exercise. She smoked cigarettes, drank tons of Pepsis. She didn't really take care of herself. And I realized that I got lots of stuff that I want to do. I want to hit 60. I want to hit 70. I want to be 102. Yeah. And I want to be in my sane mind when I'd hit 102. And I realized that I had to make a difference. I'm looking at those K-dramas. I'm sitting on the couch and that's getting that COVID stomach, and I realized that if I want to hit these other numbers, I got to change what I'm doing. I got to eat a little bit more healthier. I got to get up. I got to move. LaShaunda has to move. My Fitbit shouldn't say, "Oh, you only have 50 steps today." Oh my God. So I realized Fitbit, I put it on there and they tell you want to get up and move. Let's move. And I love that, because I realized that at first I was ignoring it. I would ignore it because you're busy. And like you said, if you're doing an hour, if I'm sitting at my desk 3 hours, my feet probably are numb because I haven't moved them. And I realized that I was noticing that my feet or my legs, I was have pins, I get those little pins in your feet. And I realized you need to stop this. Just no. And then I got some grandkids. And man, if you don't have energy, them grandkids gonna make you get some energy. So I said, you know what? I want to be here for the grandkids. I want to be here. So I have to make LaShaunda a priority, and I have to do. And when I don't feel like it, I remember, you know what? If I don't walk, I at least want to walk once a day. If I don't get that once a day in there before I leave these doors, I'm going around the building. Let me go. And now it's getting cold. I realize that I can walk. I walk inside the building. I just walk in there. I get my steps in, and there's no excuse. There's no excuse. You know, you can say, well, you can go up and down the steps. You got steps in your house, go up and down the steps. When I was COVID, that's what I did. I went up and down the steps, up and down the steps. You can find different little things to do to get your exercise in. So there's no excuses anymore. If you want to get to 102 with me, we gotta get these exercises.
I'm all about the triple digits over here. I'm all about the triple digits. I so appreciate you pausing from your day to come by and have a You First conversation with me, Miss LaShaunda Hoffman. Y'all, I'm so glad that she was able to stop by. You know, we're gonna have to have her back because we need to talk about some other business stuff with Miss LaShaunda too. But I'm so glad. So I appreciate you so much for pausing for the cause. Look, don't you go nowhere. We know she's gonna sneak on back into the green room, but I don't want her to leave me just yet. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us today on You First. All right, guys, tell her goodbye. We will see you soon. I hope you really enjoyed your conversation because this is about righting the wrong of self-care neglect. Now, whether you are an author, whether you're a writer, whether you're an editor, if you work at a desk, if we are not paying attention, I say by choice or by force, your body, your mind is going to require you to do that. I know you hear all the time about drinking water, eating right, all of that stuff. It's real. It is real. And until you're faced with those things, I don't want you to have to be faced with those things. Like me, I was faced with it. And I had to do something about it. And so that's why I'm here, and I'm here for you. This is your safe space, your place about self-care, mental well-being, right? Personal development and empowerment. And you know, we want to empower you to be the best you that you can be, even if it means starting right now. If you're a person to say, well, I have to write, then maybe you should then change where you're sitting, change environments, go into another room, raise your legs throughout the day. I say for me, if you type, sometimes to write is to remember. I remember so much more when I put pen to paper. Even if you have your cell phone, use your voice note, walk around. If you're saying, I don't want to lose my thought, I don't want to lose the momentum. There's other devices now that can help you and be used as a tool, but when you make your health a priority, because it is about you. No one can treat you better than you can. I am with LaShaunda. I am all about reaching the 3 digits over here, up in here, up in here, up in here. And it's about you being your best self and being your best self now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of You First, because it's all about you. All right. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Be sure to share and follow us on all social media platforms and join us. Become a part of our community. Get in that email list. There's so many things. There's so many fun things going on and that we have coming up in the You First family, because it's about the who in all of this is you. I'm again, Shawanna Kennedy, your host, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now. This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.